So let's look at an Ashi position where maybe we just dropped him with a single leg X. We want to start to use this to come up. We don't want to create a reap, maybe a tournament or something where we're looking to do. We can't actually face that way, but we can use this and we go, hey, you know what? I just got to get points. And if he messes up, I'll take that 10 times out of 10. So I start by closing off the distance, and there's multiple ways that you can find what angle is going to work best for you. And again, there's a lot of great DVDs and instructions that you'll find about leg locks. Just giving you some basic information. I want you to take the study and find what works best for you. Whatever works best for you, guess what? That's right. When we get to this spot, I may have one where I'm just C-clamping or posting on my thigh, so that way I can create some distance. I also have the ability to hit a foot lock, where I could even start to back elbow from here, or maybe I have that Achilles grip. If I feel Brandon trying to make a grip or coming up towards me, again, I could still look at extending away. If I try to extend my legs, it's going to be harder. So again, I'm a little bit bigger than Brandon, so I'm going to try to extend more of my upper body. His left arm's back, so I could reach over to create that space if you need that kind of cue as a visual reminder. Or if need be, you just think, I'm here, I bring my head all the way back. As I bring my head back, and where my head goes, my eyes go, my upper body's going to follow. So I always never want to turn completely away. So I'm looking towards this position, which is now going to let my left arm start to cover Brandon's toes. Right as that happens, you can keep your grip. When that happens again, I can extend back away, and now I can even go a 2-on-1, similar like what you could use to pass this through. And then once that, I can go ahead and pass it through to my other hand. Once I start to pass this through, remember, I need to find the sweet spot where this heel and the foot's going to be glued to my body. If I pass it through too far through, I'm going to be in a cross ankle lock, and then I'm going to need to find a way of getting back into it. Go ahead and keep your grip. So when I'm here, I start to pass this through, and you'll notice that for me to get over to start to throw this uppercut, I need to throw an uppercut. A lot of times we're thinking, again, we got to get to this position. I need you to think, I need to reach across my body. So my thumb needs to turn down, my shoulder needs to be relaxed. If I try to be rigid, I never get my arm through, right, Brandon? But if I go slow, and I just think like I'm trying to throw a shoulder punch without throwing a shoulder punch, now if he tries to keep that grip and I come up, now it actually gets his heel glued in. The nice thing about this now is I'm in a better position, and you'll see it in an outside Ashi position. You'll see like my feet kind of get tied up a little. The nice thing with this, I have an easier way to go ahead and technical lift. So 2 ways. I can post and do a traditional technical lift, or if you're struggling and you're just learning jiu-jitsu and you're not really familiar with other fitness kind of moves, think of it this way. I'm going to turn to turtle. The easiest way I'm going to turn to turtle is I'm going to slide this leg back, so I'm going to end up on my hands and my knees, but I can't put this hand down. So Brandon's going to try to come up and get to posture on me. I'm going to slide this leg back. You'll see that essentially hands and knees. From here, this leg is able to base, and I'm in a position again where my elbow's inside the knee. At this point, I have the ability to go ahead and decide, do I stay 1-arm grip here and start to play to a different grip? Do I go to a gun choke grip? Do I go to a rear naked choke grip? Do I go wrist to wrist and throw an elbow strike? Because again, here, if I want to push into this, you feel this foot ankle and immediately already go into the knee. Because again, for this not to really go into Brandon's knee, his knee has to face that way. So I can already start to face and put the foot lock in, and when I get to this spot, if you even think of it like what we do in the Aoki lock, the beautiful thing with this is now I can actually start to pass near side with this, almost like I'm in that knee cut. And if I'm in this position and he tries to play any kind of guard towards me, where do you feel that? Knee. He has nowhere to go. So the nice thing is, especially if you're going against somebody bigger, going against somebody smaller, that has a really good guard and can keep this space closed up, well, the way that you beat them now with this is you go to this George Samuelson lock to force to the side, because naturally they have to be able to turn this foot out to play the guard or be able to turn it back. Because what do some people like to do from here? You're going to try to kick your legs through and take my back, right? Mm-hmm. If you slowly go to do that, go ahead. Where do you feel that? Now I'm able to block this to the foot, and then I can slide this pressure back in. At any point again, if I have to, I can use this to force him to face away. I can put a hand down, I can make a sleeve grip, I can post, and I can start to stand up and force that exposure. So again, the beauty of this setup is now we have the ability to take a couple different things. One, I can stand up to pass. Two, if I get him to become overzealous and over commit to something, I can go ahead and start to pass low or pass high, but I also have the ability, if they overcompensate, to go ahead, attack the foot, the ankle, the knee, get the pass, or ultimately get the back.